Hello and welcome to the Good Faith Podcast. I'm Ron, and in this podcast, we're going to try to examine people's good faith arguments, assuming that they're in good faith, and calling out where we think that they are not in good faith. I'm going to try to make a said good faith argument to understand where people are telling the truth, where they're not, and trying to tell you what is the actual truth. So let's take a look at the current government shutdown and Mike Johnson's assertions that that they are operating in good faith, that the Democrats are doing their shutdown for political purposes, and that the Democrats just want to give people, illegal aliens, health care. So let's take a look at Mike Johnson and let's see what he has to say.
Challenge from his left flank in his next Senate re-election campaign. And he wants to avoid the scrutiny that he received for doing the right thing back in March.
So he's talking about Chuck Schumer.
He really went crazy on poor Chuck Schumer. And so he changed his tune. And now they're trying to pretend it's about something completely different.
Okay, so Mike Johnson is saying, and sorry I cut off the beginning of there a little bit, but he's saying that the reason that the Democrats are shutting down the government is that the left wing went crazy after Chuck did the right thing previously. Oh, let me put my face back on here. So this, I need to get better at that. So yeah, so he's saying that the left wing went crazy and after Chuck did the right thing and voted with the Republicans and got nothing, got his ass handed to him essentially in the previous government shutdown debate in April. In that case, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats felt like the Republicans were not going to be able to pass their budget. The Republicans in the House under Mike Johnson did pass it. And then Chuck Schumer, instead of shutting down the government, went along with it. He and 9 other centrist / conservative Democrats went / corporatist Democrats went along with it and got absolutely nothing for Democrats. And indeed, the left wing and all of the sort of left of center and centrist Democrats were completely angry with him, felt like he showed no leadership. Nancy Pelosi called him out for not negotiating very well. And yeah, indeed, there was a calls for shutting it down because people felt like that Trump was using Doge at the time to illegally just slash the government, not fund, usurp the power of Congress, the power of the purse that Congress has, and rescind spending on things that Congress had already allocated funding for. Illegally, masked men were, plucking people off the streets, and that this should not stand. That the one thing that the Democrats had power over was the power to shut down the government, and that they should do that, and they should do that over those things. And so Chuck Schumer is in a lot of trouble. People feel his leadership is inadequate, and people were demanding a response by the Democrats now. James Carville famously said at the beginning of this administration that Democrats should just play dead, that the things that the Republicans and Trump administration are doing are going to be very unpopular, and that the Democrats will win electorally. The people of the United States, especially the people on the left-wing side, feel that that's unacceptable, that we have masked men in the streets, as we've talked about. We have people being arrested for doing op-eds, like the Azturk young lady who wrote an op-ed and was plucked off the street. We have people being sort of disappeared into gulags that are being created. So in the spirit of good faith, I won't call them gulags. They are concentration camps. No, they are prisons that are being created by the Trump administration. Alligator Alcatraz, you likely will have heard of. And so, people were demanding more action from the Democrats this time, and rightly so. And so let's see what Mike Johnson has to say about what beyond that the Democrats are responding to a demand that they stand up to this administration. Let's see what his next arguments are.
They have made a decision that they would rather give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens than to keep the doors open for the American people. To keep
Okay, so he might actually refer to page 57 of the Democratic proposal during the previous shutdown negotiation. So this is a completely bad faith argument. Mike Johnson is saying that the provision that the Democrats pushed for, which would reinstate funding for people for Obamacare subsidies that were completely gutted in the big, beautiful bill, that because those subsidies are also available to legal immigrants, including people that were here under the CHNV, which was, what was it, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. There were a lot of people who were sponsored to come here on a asylum claim. Lots of people came. You could agree with that or disagree with that, but that was a legal process of asylum seekers to come to the United States. Legal asylum seekers are also eligible for Obamacare subsidies. This person, Mike Johnson, in bad faith, is calling those people illegal aliens. J.D. Vance called them illegal aliens in the run-up to the last election. Donald Trump said that these people are eating your dogs and cats. So a clearly racist dog whistle. So they're calling these legal immigrants illegal immigrants, and that they're saying that because Democrats want to reinstate Obamacare subsidies so that people's monthly premiums don't go from $300 to $900, because of that, therefore, Democrats want to give illegal aliens free health care. It's just clearly nonsense. It's clearly a bad faith talking point. So, you know, if I continue to do this podcast sort of thing, one of the things that really kind of gets under my skin is these crazy bad faith arguments. One of the things I want to talk about, and hopefully this doesn't go on too long, is back in 2003, literally a couple of days before the start of the Iraq War, the second Iraq War under George W. Bush, I was having a conversation with a Republican friend of mine. And I said, well, you know, clearly we're going in a couple of days. So maybe the best case scenario is that we get rid of both Saddam Hussein and George Bush. And he looked at me, he said, what are you talking about? And I said, nobody really believes that there are weapons of mass destruction. And he said, I do. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. And, I had a realization that day that a lot of Republicans and conservatives that get their news from Fox News, they believe it. So you will find right now that a lot of right-wingers, conservatives, MAGA folks, if you ask them, do you believe that the Democrats are trying to give health care to illegal aliens? They'll say, yes, 100%. They believe it. It's just not true. It's just not true. So if you like this, so that's my point today, right? So Mike was clear and correct in his analysis of why the Democrats are shutting down the government now. It's because they feel like they are, they blew it, that Chuck Schumer especially blew it last time and failed to exert the leverage that he had at the time. And that people are demanding that we stand up to this administration, which is moving rapidly towards fascism. And we could talk about what fascism is and why this administration is moving towards fascism. We have mass men in the streets. We have demonization of immigrant population. We have the illegal usurpation of the tariff power that should be done by the Congress. It's illegal usurpation of taxation power, which is not the president's role. We have the president failing to spend money that's clearly been allocated by Congress. A lot of us would feel like they should say that, look, we're not going to fund your government if you're not going to do what the Congress says. But instead, the Democrats have focused on, well, these Obamacare subsidies that have been gutted as part of the big, beautiful bill. We are going to demand that those be reinserted, and that it would be good for the American people. And we're going to, die on this hill of we don't want your healthcare subsidies to go up. So, maybe that's good politically, maybe it's not. But, have a good faith argument. If you feel like, look, we are happy that we cut all these subsidies. People should get off their ass and get a job and get to work. And, we just disagree on that and we're not going to budge on that. Then fine. You can take that position. But instead they take this bullshit position that, they're just standing up for like American citizens and the Democrats just want to give healthcare to illegal aliens. And then they also say that, Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. A lot of you conservatives out there, you probably say, yeah, he did. To this day, probably I'll have you believe it. Okay. So, I'm hopefully going to be able to point out what is true and what is not true. And hopefully that is valuable to some people. So if you like that, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know that you appreciate that. You want more of this content. That's all I have for today. So keep the faith, keep it faithful, and keep telling the truth. Say what you think. Say what you think and let's debate it. Let's have a debate and let's pick the best government we possibly can for ourselves. So thank you very much.